countrymen and countrywomen, greetings from the government and the NRM party. Congratulations on completing 2022, and we wish you a prosperous 2023. Tonight, I will speak about 3 issues: the high commodity prices and possible shortages of Sere Nebula. I hope that's the one. But in Nyankore, shortages Ebola, and of Sere. So we have 2 things. We have obsere, high prices, and we have got Ebola. How they say Ebola in Uganda, of commodities. Number 2, crime. I'll speak a bit about crime. And number 3, Okongora, idling around while others are working. It is clear that the main driver of commodity prices and shortages of some of the commodities is the war in Ukraine and the sanctions that were put on the Russian oil and other products by the Western countries. We have avoided taking sides in that conflict because we think that it could have been avoided, and we have told those involved our views in private. Consequently, we have avoided negotiating with the friendly Russia, because Russia is our friend. We can negotiate with them for cheaper oil, like India has done, because we are also friends with the USA and all the Western countries. So while we could negotiate with Russia for this cheaper oil, like India has done, we are avoiding it up to now because we don't want quarrels with our Western friends, at least for now. Instead, we are intensifying diplomatic contacts quietly to resolve the whole issue. In the meantime, we are handling the part of the problem that is easy for us to handle, the shortages. The prices may be high, but let the goods be there. Let's not have 2 problems. Let's not have a problem of high prices and shortages. The shortages were partly due to the poor rains of the past seasons. Banyankwele called the season Eshumi. That is why we resolved to intensify the use of irrigation so as to immunize our agriculture against the erraticness of the weather. We are also intensifying efforts to produce products like palm oil that is used in the manufacturing of soap instead of importing it from Indonesia and Malaysia. Below, you can see the images of irrigation and palm oil growing.
This is the diversion point of water to the gardens.
Those are the palm oil fields. That is in order to avoid the shortages, like in this case of palm oil, because of the obstruction. We would have gone very far in the palm oil field. We moved very fast in Kalangala, but in other areas we were being blocked by the groups in Uganda here. This group, that group, until this problem came up. Otherwise, we would never have had any of those shortages. Would have forgotten about palm oil from Indonesia long ago. But enkuba esooka eryoka enjuwa eryoka netonya, enkuba eryoka notenya notegeera awa. Okay, okay. So when it started raining, that's when people woke up, and now we are moving very fast to grow more palm oil in Buvuma, where we wasted so much time, in Mayuge. I think what you saw there was part of Maruzi. So we are going to be independent of the palm oil. You can see the huge. Instead of importing and spending so much money, I think we were spending something like $300 million. I think you can check the amount we were spending, on palm oil. That one is now going to be stopped. So the immediate problem is to deal with the shortages. Ebola. Obusere buyinza okuba bukyaliwo naye wakiri tuleme okubeera n'Ebola, because that's the more dangerous. Because it means even if you have the money, you can't get the product. Therefore, while imported items may be scarce, our own locally produced items will be plenty. These are bananas, cassava, millet, beans, maize, beef, milk, fish, eggs, chicken, etc. They may be expensive because of the petrol that is used to transport them, but they will be available. Even the prices of some of them remained stable during Christmas. Take beef, for instance. I hear that beef remained, the price did not go up. That's what I hear. That's what I heard people talking. The price remained stable. This could be because of some elements of speculation by some goods and services providers. They unnecessarily raise prices. When the consumers stay away on account of the high prices, they are then forced to lower the prices and still make profit. What does that mean? It means they were just too greedy for super profits and were taking advantage of the situation. They were profiteering. That greed also distorts the picture of the struggle for lowering the cost of business and the cost of living. The Ugandans should remember that the problem is not only high commodity prices of sale, but possible shortages, Ebola. Ebola will be defeated first. Nevertheless, we are not just sitting and waiting for the global conflicts to calm down and bring down the price of fuel. We are working on plans to shift to electric buses, electric cars, and electric piki-pikis. The quickest move may be on piki-pikis. We have agreed with some investors to take away the petrol-diesel ones, piki-pikis, and give the owners the electric ones, free of cost. Just swap. How will the investors recover their money? By the government licensing them to operate charging stations where the electric batteries are recharged. That's how they recover their money. They bring electric piki-pikis, they give them free to our people, they take back the ones of petrol, and they recover their money by we allowing them to run charging stations. This swap or cancer will save the piki-piki operator 50% of the cost. 50% of the cost. As pointed out above, the shift in transport vehicles is not only in respect of piki-pikis. It also involves the buses, cars, minibuses, pickups, etc., manufactured by Kira Motors and Metu Katabazi and others. In the meantime, without yet talking to our Russian friends, we are talking to other petrol refiners to sell us cheaper fuel, eliminating the middlemen who add as much as $50 per ton on the cost of fuel. Our own petroleum will start flowing around 2025. There is a story of the Akahanda Kafunzire, the narrow path in the Bible that leads to heaven, as opposed to Echanda Rigendwa, the wide popular path that leads to Gehenna, to hell. The NRM always, in difficult times, follows the narrow path that always leads to salvation. The exact portion in the Bible, in the book of Matthew chapter 7, verses 13 to 14, goes as follows. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate, and the narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Uganda has been able to survive so many problems because we always advise you to follow Akahanda Kafunziri, the narrow path, the difficult one, which appears difficult, but actually the one which is correct. On the issue of crime, I want to assure Ugandans that there is no terrorist group or criminal group that can defy the combined strength of the UPDF, the Uganda police, the intelligence services, the Uganda prisons, the Uganda Wildlife Authority, and the popular vigilance of the people. In this year ending, you have heard what happened to the following groups of terrorists and criminals. 1, the Ndugwa Semakora groups that attacked police posts in the Mityana Chiboga area. 23 of them are now in prison, including their leader, Semakora Ndugwa. Number 2, the ADF cell that attacked General Katumba when they killed his daughter and one other person. 3 of them were killed and 9 are in prison from that group. 3, the Bijambia attackers who killed 28 people in the massacre area. 23 of them have all been arrested. 4, the group that entered Uganda in the Ntoroko area from Congo recently and killed one bicyclist. They met on the 11th of December 2022. 26 have been killed, 15 have been arrested, and 22 weapons, SMGs and 2 light machine guns have been captured. etc, etc. I can go on with these groups. Can go on with all of them. Are accounted for almost. I do not have time to give you details of the operations that destroyed these groups. However, I will only briefly describe the group of Mao, real name Katende Moses, that attacked Busika police post. You remember there was an attack on that Busika police post. I think it is on the way to Bamananika, where they killed 2 police personnel and stole 2 guns. Now, on the 9th of July, that group had killed the cow of Bukwo, Oggwanga Charles, who was ambushed and killed in the Matuga area by this group. You remember that cow was killed in the Matuga area, called Charles Oggwanga. He was just, I think, on leave or something. On the 25th of July, panga-wielding criminals attacked a police checkpoint where policemen were obviously relaxed near Kasanaruero, killed 2 policemen and took their guns. On the 31st of October 2022, on the 9th of December, criminals attacked Busika police post and Chabadaza police station, different dates, one on the 31st of October and then on 9th of December. They attacked first Busika, then Chabadaza police positions, police stations and police posts. In those 2 attacks, 2 police personnel and 2 civilians were killed and some guns were taken. These criminals thought they were smart and unreachable. This is how they deceive themselves. However, as I told you in a recent television address, in a reasonably well-organized system like Uganda, I'm saying reasonably well-organized, there are still some gaps. But it is a reasonably well-organized system like Uganda. There is no way you can commit such crimes and you cannot leave clues. Using the inevitable clues they left behind, the police arrested some people, which enabled police to arrest another 50 associates of these criminals. Eventually, some more criminals were arrested, and the evidence on them proved that the group that had been killing these people was a group of 7 ADF members led by Mao, whose real name is Katende Moses. This group had even brought in a light machine gun, LMG PK, from Congo, which they used in Chabadaza. Consequently, on the 18th of December, the police attacked a hideout in Kito, Matuga, where Mwanguzi Abdul Shakur and Hajuri Akimu were killed, and 2 SMGs were recovered, including the one they had robbed from Busika police post. These guns have numbers, so we know them. We even have their fingerprints of each gun. The remnants of the group fled to Nyendo in Charugo, Bugambira. On the 24th of December 2022, Katende Moses, the group leader, was arrested and was found with 1 LMG, the PK, 7 SMGs, 1 pistol, 2 improvised explosive devices, etc. An iPad was also got from a lodge in Bwara. This Mao, Katende Moses, apparently gets orders from somebody called Suleiman, who also gets orders from another one called Amigo, who is in Congo. We have been hitting this Amigos group in Congo. Apparently, the pressure on the ADF in Congo is too much for them, and these attacks in Uganda are to raise money for ADF in Congo, and also they childishly imagine that these attacks will force us to withdraw from Congo, that if they attack us here, then we shall withdraw from Congo, which is nonsense, because the answer is to destroy them in Congo, which we are doing very well. Therefore, our strategy of destroying ADF in Congo and neutralizing these scattered elements within Uganda is correct. Recently, we have seen another childish form of actions by the anti-NRM elements, which also shows their desperation. This is the cutting of the electricity pylons. The targeting of these pylons is actually a compliment to the NRM. Okulaba abantu bano, these parasites, nti kati beeralikirira nti Uganda erina amasanyalazi agamala, kati NRM tunagikola ki? Kubanga kati economy egenda kubuuka. So these parasites, they are now desperate. Kati bana tukole ki? NRM banange egenze. Then they just engage in such stupid things. The targeting of these pylons is actually a compliment to the NRM. The parasites who fear Africa's strength cannot stand a successful African economy like Uganda. Abalabe ba Africa beeralikiridde, Uganda efuuse ekizibu bannange. Amasanyalazi gatuuse wantu wonna, korasi abunye wonna, olaba negomba atuuseyo korasi. Neri omubakyoli nani bayita Musingo on the border of Sudan, korasi atuuse. Gari yomuka eyamasanyalazi yiyo ejja. So they are very desperate. Mbasasi de banange, I'm very sorry for you. Now, hence, attack the base of that success that includes the massive electrification program. Of course, this again shows the bankruptcy of these groups. How can anybody cut electricity pylons in Uganda and we fail to locate him or her? Stay tuned. You will soon hear interesting news on this. Musigare ku mukutu. Mugenda kuwulira ebikwata ku by'amashanyarazi. This now brings me to my real topic of today. Okongora, known as Luwach Kom in Luo, known as Ekalanyi. In Ateso, if she's a female, is Ekalanyi. If he's a man, is Okalanyi. And Ovu in Lugubara, or Kongora. It is an imagery from our rural setting, and also in our rural primary schools, where we would do work in the compound or in the school garden. Everybody is supposed to put in equal effort in the work at hand, cutting the grass in the compound, okutema akajija, removing the litter from the school compound, kuzambura, digging in the school garden, or digging the home garden, garden in the home, okuhinga. There are people who would not do their share of work, but expect equal reward, e.g. food after work at home. This conduct is very much frowned on and despised in the villages. In the school, you would accuse somebody, Sebo, Uguna Kongora. You accuse a fellow student who is playing around. You accuse him to the teacher. This conduct is very much frowned on and despised in the villages. This is exactly what is happening in the wider economy in Uganda. However, before I come to the economy today, let me first go back to our African dialects, which are very clear in describing actions of people and other phenomena. The problem I have seen in the last 60 years, and why many of the groups fail, is that many Africans don't believe in themselves as Africans. And they're always trying to be something else, to be Europeans, to be Arabs. You feel sorry for these people. And the success of the NRM is that for us, we are here, Africans, who got more information from science. Science is not European, is not Arab, it is science. It is actually God's creation. I am therefore, whatever I do, when you see me there in Kampala, wherever I am a Munyankore from Tungamo, who learned literacy long ago, learned science, learned modern history, and integrated it in my own thinking. Yeah. So which means some of the, whatever I do is African, but with the science outlook, not with superstition. This is the difference. If you don't solve this, you'll get into all sorts of problems. I'll have another time and I'll speak about it. About that, what they call self-alienation by the Africans. So when it comes to this Okongora, let's first go back to our languages. The language is very clear. Okukora is to do work. I think in what they say teach or something like that. To do work. Emirimo is work. Emizano, sports, games. You cannot be doing sports and you say, I am working. That is okuzana. You are playing. Embaga, feasting. Kweshongora, singing, music. Kuhiga, hunting. Kuhumba, gathering wild fruits. Kuterecherera, appeal to the supernatural forces through traditional prayers known as okusiga. Kushaba, prayers, modern way. The traditional way is called okuterecherera when people are discussing to the supernatural. Then this one, the modern one is okushaba, prayers or something. Obwomezi, amagara, ability to live. Entunguka, development. Obugaiga, wealth. Okugwaje, prosperity. These words remind us that what is most basic in all these is obwomezi, amagara, obulamu. In Uganda they call it. Obulamu, life, living. Obulamu. And okugwaje, living and prosperity. In order to achieve this, you must kukora. You must kukora, or somebody must kukora for you. Either you work, or somebody works for you. If you are a mukade, if you are an old person, the grandchildren can be working for you. But to think that you can live without working, or somebody working for you, is not wise. In our traditions, work was in 4 categories as follows: kuhinga, okulima, cultivation. That was okukora now. Okulima. Okuhinga, that was kukora. Emirimo. Kurisa, livestock, herding, cattle, goats, sheep. Number 2. That's the second type of kukora. Skills of the hand, emyoga. Kuhesha, blacksmith. Kubaija, carpentry, woodwork. Kukomaga, making back cloth. Kutanaga, not kutananga, my typist. Kutanaga, making arrows and bows. Kunogora, making clay pots. Abarimbi, transporters on water. You know, these people were specialized. They had people specialized in transporting people on water. Abarimbi. Abajengi, surgeons. We had surgeons. There were surgeons. People who know how kujenga. Kujenga is surgery. They could remove bones from your head or something like that. Abafumu, herbalists, etc. So, you have so work was okuhinga, cultivation, okulisa, animal keeping, okulunda, yes. Then skills, these skills, emyoga. Then, of course, we had also abajubi, fishermen. Fishermen, different from abarimbi. The other ones were transporters. These were abajubi. This pre-capitalist system is metamorphosing into new sectors of the economy. The NLM has repeatedly told you of the 4 sectors. Because what I said above was the traditional, the pre-capitalist. But now it is metamorphosing. Not totally phased out, but changing. And we have been guiding you. The 4 sectors: commercial, agriculture, which covers crops, livestock, fisheries. All of them together, we put them under commercial agriculture. Sector 2, industry, meaning manufacturing and mining. Sector 3, services, obuwereza, and ICT, ebyuma bya kalamagezi. We have repeatedly told you that if you want livelihood and prosperity, obulamu n'okubeera obulungi, livelihood, sikusanyuka, what do they call it, to celebrate, okujaganya, no, livelihood, obulamu, to live first. Before you kusanyuka, you must live. We have told you, you must strive to find space in one of the 4. Find space in one of the 4 sectors. Obondo obunobo. Of course, there is a 5th sector, the public service, that accommodates 480,000 persons from a population of 43 million people. It is not correct for many people to have hope in finding livelihood and prosperity in the public service. It is wrong and dangerous. It is wrong because those jobs are not enough. It is dangerous because most of the public service jobs do not directly add to the wealth of the country, and yet they take money, salaries, and so on. Some public service jobs, yes, contribute to wealth creation. Take the security providers, e.g. army, police, etc., for instance. Without them, wealth creation is impossible. Some of the scientific cadres, doctors, engineers, vets, add to wealth creating by supporting our health and giving scientific support to the efforts of the wealth creators. Some of the social scientists, if they have the right orientation, also contribute to wealth creation. This category includes economists, a minimum of administrators, etc. However, the pressure to create too many administrative units, e.g. municipalities, endless list of new districts, sub-counties, etc., is wrong once you have addressed the problem of sub-colonialism that we inherited from the imperialists, where some groups using local government units were oppressing people like the Baruri, Banyara, Banyaruguru here in Ankole. Once that one has been addressed, we should not have too many unnecessary of these administrative units. It wastes resources. Therefore, not to lose this historical moment, we must emphasize the 4 sectors of wealth creation, which are commercial agriculture, industry, manufacturing, services, and ICT. Within the 4 sectors, we should clearly distinguish the difference between emirimo, work, and emizano, sports, playing. Between okukora, work, and okutarama, transnight. The Banyankole used to have to okutarama, transnight. They sing, they what? But they sing after work. The okutarama, these are not new things to us. They are well known, and they were part of life, but they had their space. You could not kutarama during the day. You would kutarama in the night and also for some hours. Like after milking, like at 8 o'clock, you drink, you eat, then you can kutarama up to 11 and you sleep. Ready for the work tomorrow. It's called kutarama, that night entertainment. So ektaramo, it's well known. But because people are not, they don't have roots, you just, and I think maybe there was also some medical issue in it, because after drinking milk, you don't sleep immediately. You sing, you dance, and by the time you dance, you have used some of the calories, I think. They will sleep around 11. But there was also some security work. Because the old men like myself, I don't kutarama. I can't be in the kutarama singing. No. Immediately after I sleep. Now, the young people are the ones who kutarama, sing, dance. When they are going to sleep, I am already, I've woken up. So I go and sit in the crowd to listen whether they are, it's called okuletia, to hear if there are thieves trying to come and break the fence. So it was a system which was purposeful. And each one at the right moment. Or ebinyumo, merrymaking. Ebinyumo, I think even in Uganda is there. With the growth of modern economies, activities like music, okweshongora, and sports, emizano, have shifted from just being amusements, kushemeza, and hobbies, to emirimo, work. For the actors, some of the musicians, and some of the sportsmen, they become professional. You can sing, there are Kadongo Kamu who are singing just for amusement, not making it part-time sort of, but there are those musicians who are now doing it as a job. There are also sportsmen who are doing it as a job. So there is some change, which is all right, but should be handled also correctly. These people who have become professional musicians, professional sportsmen, these earn from those jobs. How about the funds? How about the funds? Do the funds earn from? So, if they don't earn, It is the musician who is earning. It is the sportsman who is earning, who is a professional. Me, I'm a sportsman, but I'm not earning anything from sports. I'm a karate person, I'm a footballer, but I don't earn anything. So I'm very sorry for it. But there are some who earn, which is all right. But how about the funds? How about the funds? How much of their time do they spend on watching these actors? When do they have time to spend in the gardens? In the factories? In the clinics? If you are a nurse? You cannot leave patients and you go to listen to music. Is gambling, Zara, a job? Gambling, Zara. Oba mu Ruganda Zara mwekiri? Nasimanyita Abaganda bafanana n'Abanyankole. When we were young, we used to do the game of Zara with split beans. With split beans. And you do like this, the beans, the cotyledons, the two sides of the bean, once you open it, two sides. We used to do the game of the Zara with split beans, 4 of them. If they all face down, that was 10 haifas. Enyeni kumi for you. If they all faced up, that was 8 haifas. Enyena for you. If 2 faced down and 2 up, you had 2 enyena, 2 haifas. Outside those 3, if I remember correctly, you lose. So you have lost. So they total up. They say you have won. This is just a game. There is no a game of amusement. This was a game, omuzano, not a job, omurimo. Even in Ludo, in Mbara High School, we would play that game. Can you make that game and other forms of gambling jobs? Moreover, if the musicians and sportsmen and churchmen are making a living through those services, how about the fans and the followers? So that means that these people who are providing this service, because this is a service also of amusement, of prayers, but the ones who are leading should know the welfare of their followers. The ones who show films. The ones Nankabera will speak about that later. I have got my daughter Nankabera here. She's helping me with the local language. So those people, if people are your followers, please have, if you are really their friend, have people on them. Know that they need to work. And in order for them to work, you could have time. Like for us who are doing the Kutarama in the evening, after all the work, and for a limited period, from 8 to about 11, and we sleep. And we were going to church on Sunday. My mother used to have some issues with my father about, because she was a Moroccan, and apart from the Sunday, she was going also on Wednesday for Rukungana, and Friday for another Rukungana. It was, I could see there was some friction. So the managers of these new cultures which have come in our society should really know how to position them without affecting the future of their clients, of their followers. If people are going to spend so much time in the churches and in the mosques, and they are going to spend so much time in the watching films in the Rwanda, and they are going to watch World Cup and so on, when do they work? When do they work? You remember at one time we had a meza. I think the meza has gone down a bit. The meza in the radios, where people would be in the radios talking. But at least that one was at least not every day. I think it was like weekend or something. I remember at one time I had people abusing me by accident. I was busy watering my cows in Ixozi. I only had on the car radio when I was shifting from one position to another one. That's one I had. But in my head I was saying, but I am busy here working. These young people are there just talking. Those who make them talk, are they their friends? Because working, you don't have time for many of those diversions. Unless, of course, you say, these ones have failed to get a job, that's why they are diverted in that one, which is also a possibility. The only time I have entered a court of law was 1956, when being attracted by a game of football, I joined the other boys near Mzee Kame's Kurar for a moment of enjoying the sport as a player because I was a good footballer, only to discover that the cattle I was herding had descended when a Mwananchi's luscious millet garden. Running at full speed, I tried to save whatever was remaining of the millet. It was, however, too late. I had committed the offense of okonesa. That's what it is called in Nyankore. Lawyers, please translate that for me in English and the legal jargon. What do you call, or the lawyers in Kampala don't even know this. I don't know. If they are lawyers of Uganda, they should know. Because these are our issues. Okwonesa is a big case. Actually, even in the north, recently the Achoris were quarreling with the Bararo there, precisely for this problem of cows trampling people's crops. For their understanding, it means one's livestock eating the crop of another citizen. This temporary attraction to the village football qualified me to appear before the parish court at Chikoni under a mutoma tree or mutuba, Ficus nanterensis. In Mzee Kato Rutochi, the court was in the banana in the banana plantation. I was then coached. You know, this is the only time I have been in court. You can't believe it. I was then coached, I don't remember by whom, to say, Omshangwe Ningwichiriza, that I was coached before. that now things are very serious. But if you go to court and you say, I accept that somehow things will be better off. So, I pleaded guilty to the charge, and by so doing, it will be better for everybody. I think Mzee Kaguta had to pay the millet owner some Enkaiti compensation, or he was forgiven in the interest of village solidarity. Hence, Bazukuru, there is time for everything. It goes in the Bible, in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verses 8, as follows. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to uproot. A time to kill, and a time to heal. A time to tear down, and a time to build. A time to weep, and a time to laugh. A time to mourn, and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones, and a time to gather them. A time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search, and a time to give up. A time to keep, and a time to throw away. A time to tear, and a time to mend. A time to be silent, and a time to speak. A time to love, and a time to hate. A time for war, and a time for peace. In Kataku yesterday, I told all present and not present about the repeated position of the NRM regarding the development and wealth in Tunguka and Obugeiga, in Kulakulana, Nobugaga, Donglobo, and Loño, Apolu, and Abar in Atesu. I need to get a word for in Rugubara. These two are another source of confusion. In Tunguka, development means schools, health centers, roads, etc. are mainly done by the government and belong to all of us, wealth creators, parasites, etc. Enkulakulanya fena tugenyirwamu ababbi batambulira chorus abalogo tosobola kubasosola ekiro batambula ku chorus. Wealth creators, they travel on the tarmac. So development belongs to all of us. Wealth, however, belongs to the individual proprietor and the respective households. Obugaga is what belongs to you, to me, as Museveni and my family. And this is why the Basoga did it well, when they said, Akange kakiraka ife. What is mine is better than what is ours. It is your wealth that will help you solve your personal needs of food, clothing, mode of transport, etc. Even if the government builds a good tarmac road near your house, we cannot also feed you and your family. We cannot clothe you, etc. The tarmac road will pass there, but we can't go beyond that most of the time, unless there is a crisis. Even for the development to be sustained, The wealth of the homes and individuals must grow. Why? When I have wealth in my home, e.g. milk, bananas, etc., I first of all supply those items to other Ugandans for their use, and some are exported. So when I create wealth, I partly solve the problems of other Ugandans. The ones who want to drink milk, instead of importing it, he buys it from me. The ones who want to buy bananas, he buys it from me. So I contribute, I supply the goods, contribute to that effort. Additionally, the family gets income. My family now gets some money from selling milk, from selling bananas. And because of that income, we buy consumer items from shops, such as sugar, clothing, petrol for piki-piki, etc. Each of those items has got a tax on them. So when I get income and I buy consumer goods, I become indirectly a taxpayer through consumption. Therefore, my household contributes to the budget of the country that supports the development of the country. Roads, schools, when you see all those roads, there is Museveni's money there. How did Museveni contribute? He bought a kilo of sugar, and there was a small tax on sugar. He bought clothes for his family, and there was a small tax on cloth. He used his car, there was a tax on fuel. But if I didn't have income, if I didn't have wealth, I would not contribute, because I would not buy anything. I would have no purchasing power. I would have no purchasing power. Without purchasing power, I don't contribute. Therefore, my household contributes to the budget of the country that support the development of the country, roads, schools, etc. And also my family pocket supports the factories producing sugar, the textiles, etc. Because by buying what the factories are producing, I am supporting them. But I'm supporting them. Why? Because I have income. Where did I get income from? From wealth. Indirectly, therefore, I help some Ugandans to get jobs in those factories, because if those factories don't sell, they will not hire people, they will close. And the people who are working there will lose jobs. So therefore, to go to public meetings and you hear people talking about roads, Babanja government, Engudo, Amasanyarazi, they are asking things for government, for development in Tumaklako. You don't hear anything about wealth. Nobody tells you that here we are richer. When you came here last, we had so many acres of coffee. Now we have got more acres of coffee. We have so many acres of, we have so many cows. Now we have got more cows. No, that one you don't hear. So there is here a problem of orientation. You cannot talk about Tumaklako without talking about Omukulembeze. You cannot talk about development without talking about wealth. You cannot talk about Donglobo without talking about Lonyo. And it is the wealth that solves, actually, in the end, solves people's problems. Because it is the one which feeds me I don't eat tarmac road. Tarmac road is there, it assists, but it's not the end product. The end product is the food I put in my stomach. It's the blanket I cover myself with, the warmth at night. Therefore, let us be clear. No kukongora. The sectors are four: commercial agriculture, industry, services, and ICT. Within those sectors, we must distinguish between okukora and okuzana. Okukora work and okuzana play. And know that everything has got its time. When you do not work, when you are supposed to, you are a mukongozi, a malingara, a cheater. In order to ensure that everybody can participate, we have put Uganda shillings 100 million per parish for helping families to engage in small-scale, high-value agriculture of the 7 activities: coffee, fruits, zero grazing cattle, food crops, poultry for eggs, piggery, and fish farming. Those are the 7 activities we recommend as part of intensive agriculture on a small scale for people of 4 acres and less. We have put Uganda shillings 1.2 trillion in UDB to lend at low interest for manufacturing and large-scale commercial farming, including the extensive agriculture that will, in addition to the 7 activities of the small-scale intensive agriculture mentioned above, support the activities that only make profit when they are done on large scale. These include cotton, tobacco, sugarcane, tea, ranching, etc. UDC, Uganda Development Corporation, has been given Uganda shillings 424 billion to co-invest for manufacturing with the private sector or invest on its own in identified profitable areas. They have already done some more. They have invested in sugar processing in Atiak, road construction. I think they have got equipment for road construction. Munyonyo Convention Center, Zombo tea, Ruero fruit, Sorot fruit, Busoga sugar, manufacturing gloves when we had the problem of corona. Finally, there is the Emyoga Fund at the constituency level for the skills that are not covered under PDM. These Emyoga are border riders, women entrepreneurs, carpenters, saloon operators, taxi operators, restaurant owners, welders, market vendors, youth leaders, persons with disability, produce dealers, mechanics, tailors, journalists, performing artists, veterans, fishermen, and elected leaders. These have been given Uganda shillings 258 billion to benefit 6,714 Emyoga circles with the membership of 1.9 million individuals. Below are the successful beneficiaries under Emyoga. You can show us some if they are there. I have them here, what you saw there in the pictures. The one of Hane was Buchimbiri Youth Leaders Validation Circle. Buchimbiri is in Chisoro. So I think those ones are making, put them back and we'll see them. That is Hane. I don't know what they are getting Hane, packaging it. The one you saw, number one, was Buchimbiri, Hane. I have it here in the pictures. Then you had Kongasis, tax operators. Kongasis is in Kapchorwa, Sebei. I think Kasoro and his group should come on the TV and explain what each one of these were, in detail what they did, how many taxes did they start with, how many do they have now. Then here I've got Bugabara South produce dealers. Oh, these are the ones of the porridge flour. They should come and tell us what they are doing with that. Should come and tell you. Then Rwanda. Border circle. They are showing something. I don't know what they are showing. As if they are something they are selling, processing. Then there is a group of borders here. Now, below are the successful beneficiaries that borrowed from UDB for commercial agriculture. If you can show them to us also, if they are there. You don't have the pictures? You don't have the pictures, but they will get time and show them. I have the list here. There is Inspire Africa Coffee Limited, the ones I visited the other day. Chankwan's Premier Ranchers Limited, Agroways Limited, Beans Enterprises, Creekside Farms Limited, Akuku Farm Seeds, Kampala Domestic Stores Limited, Abasaja Kweyambi Irrigation Scheme, Yahe International Limited, Kamuri Sugar, Uganda Farmers Crops Industrial Limited, Seziwa, Lota Agro Processors Limited. Oh, there are so many, so many. I will die if I'm to read them and finish them. Since I want to reach the new year, there are so many of them. Manyakabi, Elia, Rubanga, Muhangi, there are so many of them here who have got money from UDB. These are medium and large scale people. PDM is for the smaller people. Myoga is for the smaller people. This is for the medium, large scale. Now, below are the projects under UDC or the Innovation Fund under the President. Show them that. I think those ones you have. Show us what is going inside. Don't just show us building. you have it. So that is the factory at Kaumu of leather, and those people are not explaining well, but those chairs, the ones you saw, are from that leather. Those are the sort of chairs you have been importing from China, and the handbags and so on. We are going to put another shoe factory next, so that all the shoes you need will be made there. Okay, these are the pictures for the Maliba. So therefore, there is now a kato for everybody. This is where everybody has got. I'm a cattle keeper, so I remember troughs where cows can drink. There is a trough for the PDM, for the parish people who want to do small scale agriculture, commercial, in the 7 activities: coffee, fruits, zero grazing cows for milk, food crop, poultry for eggs, piggery, and fish farming. There is a myoga for the skilled people at the constituency. There is money in UDB for the medium and large scale. There is UDC, which can be in partnership with people. I did not want to talk about commercial banks because those ones are not my business, but they're also there. So therefore, what we are saying is down with Okongora. Okongora tukuwele dara. Long live the prosperity for all of us. Maybe let my daughter Nankabura summarize in Uganda what we have been saying. Try to summarize. Then I conclude.
Webale nnyo balire ddala President. President abalamusizza mwenna bannayuganda banne era n'abeebaza okuyita mu mwaka, okuyita mu Christmas, n'abaagaliza okuyita mu mwaka obulungi. Olwaleero azze okwogera ku nsonga 3. Ensonga esooka gyagenda okwogerako bagyayogeddeko bwe buseere n'ebbula ly'ebintu. Ensonga ey'okubiri kubadde obumenyi bw'amateeka, n'ensonga ey'okusatu kubadde okukongola. Ku ky'obuseere n'ebbula ly'ebintu atujjukizza nti ensonga zonna ezifuga emiwendo gy'ebintu ezisinga zeesigamira ku mafuta kubanga ge gabitambuza. Era n'atujjukiza nti olutalo oluyinda olwabalukawo wakati wa Russia ne Ukraine olwo lwatukosa ffenna kubanga ensi ezo zibadde nkulu mu kutuwa amafuta. Era wadde nga abalala babadde boogera ne Russia okufuna amafuta agali ku bbeeyi eya wansi, naye nga Uganda President yalabanga ekyo kiyinza okukosa enkolagana yaffe n'amawanga amalala ag'abakyeruppe nga America ng'ate nabo twagala okukolagana nabo. So ne tutatwala mukutu ogwo ogw'okutegeeragana ne Russia etufunira amafuta ago. Naye ku bbula ly'ebintu enteekateeka namutaayika etulagiddwa ku TV ey'okulima ebinazi, ng'ebinazi ebyo bye bivaamu ebikozesebwa ebisinga obungi, butto, sabbuuni n'ebirala. Ebyo bijja kutuleetera okulaba nga waakiri ebintu weebiri wadde nga biri ku buseere.
N'okufukirira ebirime ebirala.
Wadde nga biri ku buseere. Ekyokubiri, okwesiga enkuba yokka tulimenga mu sizoni tetujja kufuna bulungi bintu bye twetaaga. Era tulagiddwa ku mutimbagano gwa TV enteekateeka ey'okufukirira ekoleddwa mu bitundu eby'enjawulo ebya Uganda ng'abantu kati basobola okwesiga okufukirira okwo. Waakiri ebintu ne biba nga si bya bbula, ne tuba waakiri ng'emmere tugirina, ne tuba waakiri ng'ebyokulya tubirina, era ne tuba balamu. Naye n'ebbula ly'amafuta era tetutudde, tuli mu nteekateeka ey'okulaba nti naffe tugenda nkola ey'okulaba nti tukozesa ebidduka eby'amasannyalaze. Kakati nga boda bodaboda zino ez'amafuta ezikozesa amafuta tujja kubanga tufuma nfume kubanga waliwo enteekateeka president yayogeddeko nti waliwo abakola bodaboda ez'amasannyalaze era nga enteekateeka eri nti bwozaayo bodaboda eyo gy'ovuga ekozesa amafuta bakuwa bodaboda ekozesa amasannyalaze. Naye omuntu ayinza okwebuuza nti kakati oli yaaba afunirawa? Kakati gavumenti yakkiriza nti abo bakola bodaboda ez'amasannyalaze tujja kubawa we bazikyagingira oba okuzongeramu omuliro oba amasannyalaze nga bwe babifuga be babimanaginga mu nsonga eyo bajja kubanga basobola okufuna ssente zaabwe ze baba bataddemu okukola bodaboda ezo. Era kino nga kijja kutuleetera omuwendo okusalika ebitundu 5 ku 100. Naye n'emmotoka ennene baasi loole tuzirabyeko Kiira zitambula ku Ntebe Road ku Bombo Road ezo nga zikolebwa wano mu Uganda. Era twongera okuteekamu ensimbi mu Kiira Motors, waliwo n'omwami omulala Metu Katabaazi, waliwo ne effort endala oba amaanyi amala agakoleddwa. Era mujja kulaba gye bujjako awo ebbanga si ddene ng'ebidduka bino bitandikidde ddala. Naye era n'oluguudo lw'eggaali y'omukka era ekozesa amasannyalaze nalwo lubindabinda. So tuleme kweraliikirira nti amafuta kati gabuze tunaakola tutya. Naye ate mujjukire nti n'amafuta ga Uganda olugendo olw'okugasima tunaatera okuluggusa mu mwaka gwa 2025 tuyinza okutandika okulaba nga tusima amafuta gaffe. N'olwekyo obuseere bw'ebintu bwo weebuli n'ensi yonna ekikaaba naye bbula tulirwanyisa. Waakiriko okuba nti ebintu weebiri oli alina ssente asobole okugula oba oli awo agabireko n'abantu be abatasobola kufuna ssente. Mu bimpimpi ekyobuseere n'ekyebbula ly'ebintu pulezidenti akinnyonnyodde ebbanga ggwanvu. Naye saagala omwaka gutuuke nga tuli wano tutudde tuli mu kwogera ebimu mbisazeeko. Kaakati ku nsonga ey'okubiri ey'obumenyi bw'amateeka, ekisookera ddala tewali pulezidenti atugumizza nti okusinziira ku busobozi bwa forces ze tulina UPDF, amagye gaffe, poliisi, enneeteekateeka gye beeteeseteeseemu kizibu akabondo konna abaka gurupu konna okufuutuka gye kafubutuse ne katulinnya ku nfeete. Era amenye emirundi mingi egigudde obutaka ng'abantu abo abakoze ebyekito oluusi nga si na byamagezi nga batulumba naye nga UPDF olw'obukugu bwerina esobola okukenga obuufu, esobola okukenga abatemu bye baba baleseewo n'ekwata abantu abo kubanga balina obusobozi, ebyuma n'obusobozi obulala obukenga omutemu oyo waaba akoze obulabe ku bantu. Kakati nga bano abatulumba e Nakasozi, e Muwanga mu Kiboga district baali bakulemberwa omwami pulezidenti amwogedde erinnya
Ndugwa Semakula Ndugwa. Abalumba Muwanga abantu 23 baba bakwata ne Semakula mwali
nga ne Semakula mwali. Ate bwe tugamba nti abantu babakutte ekyo nno kiba kitegeeza nti bagenda kutubuulira kubanga amagye gaffe galina obukugu obukukamulamu ebyafu oba information oba ebikwata ku banno bobadde okola nabo. Buli lwe tugamba nti bano twabakutte tubatwongera okufuna ebikwata ku basigaddewo. Ate era n'emmundu ezisinga obungi nazo tusobodde okuzikwata, naye era n'abafudde abasuddemu akaba nabo weebali abagenze. Kakati era kiba kyamagezi gwe n'ogamba banno batabani bo bw'obanga omanyi nti babadde babatwala mu bikolwa ebyo obutaŋŋanga kugenda mu bikolwa ebyo. Kakati era mwawulirako nti UPDF eri mu DRC era ng'ekoze e Congo era ng'ekoze omulimu ogw'ettendo. Kati olw'okuba UPDF eri mu kufufuganya enfo z'abo abantu abaludde nga bajja eno ne basoomooza ne badduka ne bagenda, abantu bano abakola ebikolwa bino abalumba poliisi eruweero abataba abapoliisi baffe baagala okutubagula tuleme okugenda mu maaso n'omulimu gwe tukola omulungi mu DRC tutandike okupapana beeno naye ekyo UPDF yabakenze tetugenda kuzikiza tugenda kukola omulimu ogwatutwazaayo mu Congo okulaba nti ensaka oba empuku ezaabo abatukolako obulabe tezikyaliyo n'ekirala baba baagala kunoonya ssente kuba baagala ssente baagala emmundu kakati bavudde ku ekyo ate ne batandika bambi okusala amasannyalaze kino no pulezidenti kyasekeredde kubanga bwe babanga batidde balowooza balabye nga NRM efubye ku misingi gy'enkulaakulana efubye kutambuza amasannyalaze efubye kukola enguudo efubye kutumbula ebyeggaali z'omukka emmotoka kati tugenda mu z'amasannyalaze ziri wano zitambula kakati gwe bw'osala ekyuma awo oyongera maanyi NRM kuba NRM manifesto yaayo yeeyama okutambuza amasannyalaze okutuuka mu bitundu ebisinga obungi mu Uganda kubanga kati nga n'enkulaakulana tugitutte ku parish oba ku muluka level eyo yonna twagalayo amasannyalaze naye kati gwe ekyo ekikolwa ekyo kyayise nti kya busiru kya kito okuddira ebyuma ebitutte ensimbi eyiyo gwe omuwi w'omusolo n'obisala n'obiteeka ku ttaka amasannyalaze ne gavaako be babadde balongoosa mu ddwaliro ne bafa gwe n'olowooza nti NRM yegenda okukyayibwa kino kirabibwa n'omwana omuto NRM erina kyekoze mu kutambuza amasannyalaze naye abataagaliza ate be bali mu kugasala naye n'abasekerera n'abalabula n'abagamba nti eyabaalula esiridde era amaaso ku lutimbe temuva ku mukutu amangu ddala mujja kuwulira nti abo abatandise otukwata mu liiso okusala amasannyalaze nabo tumaze okubalinnyako tujja kwongera mu maaso n'okugakola tujja kwongera mu maaso n'okugatambuza kakati obumenyi bw'amateeka nga tubuvuddeko kuba pulezidenti asomye ennamba y'abantu abattiddwa n'abo abali mu makomera gye saagala kuddamu njagala nange nkozesa omukisa guno essira nditeeke ku abo abatudde obutuuzi abatukongola pulezidenti atujjukizza nti edda twamanyanga ekigambo okukola kyeki emirimu kyeki abakozi kyeki era n'atugamba tuddeyo twekenneenye ku ebyo by'obadde okola oba obadde oyimba oba obadde okusamba akapiira okuzannya oba ogwo omulimu bano abayimba ekiro abanyankole bakuŋŋaana ekiro ne batalama naye ffe mu Luganda tukiyita kyoto abasajja abakulu baatuulanga ekiro ku kyoto ne babuulirira naddala abasajja n'abaana baabwe abalenzi naye nga kiro ng'emisana bamaze okukola emirimu ne babagerera engero naye nga zaakubasomesa ne bababuulirira ebyamaka naye nga ekyo kyoto naye kaakati gwe obudde bw'obukozesa otya emirimu gye tumanyi kwe kulima okuyigga okuweesa okuvuba ejedda okuvuba bana abalunnyanja abasaabazanga abantu ku nnyanja naye n'abavubi nga bavuba ebyennyanja egyo gy'emirimu egyedda abaabumbanga egyo gy'emirimu egyedda naye kaakati waliwo era okulongoosaamu waliwo emirimu emirala nagyo egifuuse nti mirimu oba oli awo kaakati ng'abasamba akapiira nga bafuna ssente era ng'eriyo n'abakalaba oli n'asasula n'ayingira alaba akapiira eriyo abayimba ng'oli okuyimba gufuuse mulimu era ye afunamu ssente era nga bw'anaakola konsati hoola ejja kujjula abantu bajje balabe abantu b'ekikanga ekyo nga balina bakasitoma abaabwe nga balina abantu ababaagala era abafiirawo okulaba nti bafuna essente ne bajja ne bazikuwa we n'okola katemba we n'oyolesa firimu n'ozivuunula ne mu Luganda ezibadde mu lulimi olulala n'ovuunula ne basanyuka nnyo gwe n'ofuna ssente abantu baabo bo baddayo nga bafunye eki obudde babumaze mu kibanda obudde babumaze ku firimu balaba kapiira kakati bavuganya n'okuvuganya basiba n'ensimbi oli n'asiba gundi yajja okuwangula ne bamulya kakati gwe nannyini kulaga mipiira egyo banno naddala ate ba myaka egyo mu makkati kubanga abasajja abakulu batono n'abakazi abakulu batono abayinza okumala obudde mu bibanda omwo kati mmwe abafunye omukisa okufuula emirimu egyo egyali emizannyo nga tegireeta ssente nga kati gireeta ssente abantu abo abajja ne bagiraba bo bafunye eki n'olwekyo NRM awo we yaleetera enteekateeka namutayiika nga yajjayo obubondo obunaatuluŋŋamya tulabe bwe tusobola okwenyiga kubanga eri enkola y'emirimu ey'edda egenze ekyukamu nti kati waliwo emirimu egitaali mirimu gya nsimbi luli nga kati gya nsimbi so NRM obubondo obuna bwe bujja okutuluŋŋamya ng'akabondo akasooka ebyobulimi oba ebya agriculture ebyobulimi ebyekibalo commercial agriculture ebyekibalo ate ebirongooseemu ekyokubiri ge makolero gano amakolero malungi gawa abantu baffe emirimu ate gatukolera bye tukozesa ne wabeerawo n'obuweereza obwangaawo zi wooteeri okutambuza abantu obwo obuweereza tubwetaaga ate abantu era bafunamu ssente ebyuma bikalimagezi tetusobola byewala nagwo mulimu era ensi yonna yonna kati etambula etunula mu byuma bikalimagezi naye waliwo n'emirimu public service oba gavumenti gyegaba naye egyo emirimu mitono emirimu gira 48,000 naye bannayuganda tuli emitwalo 48 naye bannayuganda tuli mu miliyoni 43 giba tegitumala naye nga wewaawo waliwo abafuna omukisa okufuna emirimu egyo era ne babanga basobola okweyimirizaawo naye ate era tujjukire nti wadde tukaayanira nnyo okugujulagujula mu Uganda yaffe nga tukola obufuzi ku buli mitendera n'obukulembeze ku buli mitendera ne tuleeta zi districts zi constituency ne tugenda ku magombolola ne tugenda ne tusala zi town council zi municipal mulimu abafunamu emirimu naye ate twesanga nga tulina kukola nnyo nga gavumenti okuyimirizaawo abantu abo omusaala gwe bafuna gunaavaawa nga tetusobodde kukola kakati awo pulezidenti wasirira ddala essira nti essira tuliteeke ku bubondo obwo obuna tuwekeneenye nnyo tusobole okwawula emirimu ku gitali mirimu tusobole okwawula okukola n'okuzannyamu obuzannyi nga abatalami oba okutalama nga bwe yakitugambye oba abatalami gyekiri ng'abatalami bwe baakolanga naffe tukole ki tusobole okubaako kyetweyimirizaawo oba abaatuulanga ku byoto nga bwe baakolanga kaakati mu byenfuna mu byenfuna ebipya pulezidenti ayogeddeko ne kuzannya ludo weewaawo nga kati tulina ludo azannyibwa ku mutendera ogw'ensi yonna era association gyeziri eza ludo naye abalabi ba ludo abeebuugirizaawo bo bavaayo nga bafunye eki kaakati okwonoona obudde bwaffe obwo okusaba si kibi ne tukoowoola Mukama okuzibya obudde tetukyagenda ku Sunday lyokka naye waliwo n'abafuluma ku ofiisi awo lunch hour ne tumala okukoowolayo mukama tekyali badde kibi naye obudde obwo okubukozesa ku kintu ekinaakuwa obugagga kubanga obulamu bwe bugagga bw'oba omugagga era n'emikisa gye okuba omulamu gibaawo kubanga bw'onooba n'akasente ojja kgenda mu ddwaliro kakati obudde bwe tumala ku bimeeza naye ebimeeza byakendeerako luli ebimeeza byabeerangawo olumu pulezidenti yali ali mu kukola ye ng'ali mu nteeze naye ng'eri ali ku kimeeza amulika amuvuma naye gwavuma ye akola ali mu nteeze akola then obudde bwe tutabukozesa bulungi oyinza okugwa mu kizibu President Museveni kye yagwako bwe yalinga alaba akapiira ente ne zikkirira mu bulo ne ziri obulo ogwonno nga gwalinga musango gwa ddala era gwali omulundi gwo gwasooka omutwala mu kkooti naye bamukookinga bulungi nti toyonoona budde bwa kkooti wekkiriza nti omusango ngukkiriza ekisa kinaabakwata ne bakusonyiwa buli awo ne muzeeyi Kaguta siniya naye bamusonyiirayo oba yawengassi kubanga wabeerawo okuwengassi ekyokulabirako ekyo kituyigiriza nti bw'omala ebiseera ng'okola ekitali kituufu ogwa mu buzibu ate era pulezidenti atubuulidde ne mu bayibuli mu mubuulizi essula ey'okusatu okuva ku lunyiriro lw'omunaana ti buli kintu kirina ekiseera kyakyo kujjako kaatayogeddeeko awo nti ng'omaliriza okugamba nti ekiseera eky'okukuŋŋaanya amayinja eky'okugasuula waliwo akanyiri akalala kagamba nti magoba ki omuntu oyo gaafuna akoze ekintu mu kiseera ekitali kituufu temuli magoba bw'okola ekintu mu kiseera ekitali kituufu tofuna magoba so bayibuli etugamba buli kintu kirina ekiseera kyakyo nga kiri mu mubuulizi essula ey'okusatu pulezidenti bwe yabaddeeko Katakwi era bamujjukiza abantu bagenda ne basaba ne boogera ku nkulaakulana enkulaakulana eno ereetebwa gavumenti emisingi gy'enkulaakulana omuli enguudo muli amasannyalaze abantu babisaba nnyo naye enkulaakulana eyo eyinza okukyusa ennyumba y'ebadde y'essubi ku luguudo olw'ettaka bwe balukuba koolaasi ennyumba eyo esobola ekiro kimu okufuuka ey'amabaati oba gwe abadde kagaali singa banaakuba oluguudo lwo koolaasi onoofuna emmotoka so kati pulezidenti atuwadde amagezi nti waliwo enkulaakulana ebyo ebintu bya gavumenti tubireese naye olina obuvunaanyizibwa okulaba ng'ofuna obugagga omukisa guzze ogwa parish development model million 100 ku buli muluka omukisa guzze ogw'emyoga buli constituency obuwumbi n'obuwumbi tubutadde awo ate nga tubateeseteese n'okubalabula nti kino bano abaakabondo akayitibwa aka bodaboda nammwe mulina bababegeddeko abasaluuni nammwe mulina bano abakulembeze b'abavubuka nammwe bababegedde akammwe teri kukaayana buli muntu alina akaato ke waasobola okunywera fe abagula produce ebirime naffe batubegeddeko ago ge makubo gavumenti geetaddewo kulembera NRM okulaba nti tufuna kye bayita obugagga obugagga bubwo oli waddemba okugabirako famire yo naye ate nange atali wa famire yo ku bugagga bw'onfunako ojja kugenda ogula sabbuuni ogula soda ogula bbiya kuliko omusolo ogwo gujja kunnyamba nze okunzimbira eddwaliro ekiboga omusolo ogwo gujja kunnyamba okunzimbira secondary school so kati bw'oba ofubye n'ofuna obugagga oba oyambye gavumenti yo bw'oba tolina kyogula tolina purchasing power tolina kyogula oli awo okongola otukongolera wamu ffenna otumenya otumenya era abantu n'obeekyayisa era kaakati abasoga bo bagamba akange kakira akaife naye abaganda bagamba nti keweerimidde kakirambegeraako bw'oba okeerimidde kabakako. So ekigambo obugagga tekiyamba gwe wekka, kiyamba nanga atakumanyi. Ojja kugula sabbuuni akolebwa eryo ekkolero oliyambye, ojja kugula soda eryo ekkolero lya soda oba oliyambye. Abaana abalala b'otamanyi nakumanya baba bagenda kufuna emirimu okuva mu makolero ago. N'olwekyo okubeera obulungi oteekwa kubanga okola okuva ku kuli okuzannya ng'okola ekiyitibwa emirimu egimanyiddwa kati. So tewali kukongola. Pulezidenti atugambye omukisa guteereddwawo abali mu byalo. Zino essente ezoogeddwa eza banka ya Uganda UDB, obuwumbi obuteereddwamu obugenda okuyamba abo abeeteeseteese. Waliwo kampuni yaffe Uganda Development Company UDC era eteekeddwamu trillions obutabalibwa eri abo abeeteeseteese. Naye gweoba toli munene, jjukira Pulezidenti azze ayogera ku kya 4 acre model. Abalina akataka akatono, kiki ky'oteekwa okulimiramu ekinaakuwa ennyo? Osimbye ebisagazi yiikeemu, olina olusuku, olina emmwanyi, yiikeemu eriko ennyumbayo naye emmanju eriyo ekyumba ky'enkoko. Osobola okulonda amagi n'ogatunda, osobola okutundayo liita z'amata. Okuva ku yiika ennyeezo mwe mwabegeddwako mu myoga, mwabegeddwako parish development model. Bano abanene be bagenze mu zino zi UDB naye nabo batuyamba. Omunene oyo yagenda okuwa omulimu, ajja kuba ne faamu nnene ekola value addition egattako omutindo, teweekubagiza era naawo ofunirawo kubanga bazzukulu bo bagenda kukola eyo emirimu. Era kyova olaba tuyaayaanira naffe Kiboga wawa tubenga tulaba amakolero nti gazze nga Pulezidenti bwe yatusuubiza ekkolero eri Empapula sayidi eyo ya Kiboga, Kyankwanzi, Mityana nga tusimbye Bambu. So amakolero gano tonyiiga nti bo babatereddemu obuwumbi obutabalika bwe baatuwadde entono kubanga nago gaba gatuyamba. Waliwo enteekateeka endala eva ewa Pulezidenti ebaddewo nnyo etuleetedde okulaba nga factories Kawumu ezo ezikola amaliba mwagala Eggwanga Buleezi ku miti. Naye kaakati okulaba nti tusobola okufuna entebe nga zikoleddwa mu maliba agawana e Uganda kijja kutuyamba okukendeeza obuwumbi n'obuwumbi bwa ssente enzungu bwe tubadde tugabira abazungu. Ebintu ebimu nga tutandise obikolera wano. Batulaze factory Kawumu okuva ku ddiba nga bisi ne liyita mu byuma ebyo bikozesa amasannyalaze. Bano abataagaliza Uganda ge basala amasannyalaze ago gakozesebwa mu factories nga eya Kawumu era nga Pulezidenti agenda gigaziya ateekeko tutandika okukola ebintu ebirala bingi nnyo. Engatto, bano abagenda ku ssomero kati amasomero tegakyayagala batambulira mu bigere. Engatto bwe ziba zikolebwa mu Uganda isooka tuba twekakasa omutindo titojja kusitula kigere ekisinziro kisigale wansi. Twekakasa omutindo, abaana baffe babawadde emirimu ate ente ze twerundira singa tunaaba tetuzitaddeeko bulabe amaliba ne gabeera nga siga mutindo kubanga ente oluusi tuzikalabula ne tuziteeka amaliba ne tugadamaginga. Tugenda kufuna ebintu eby'omutindo, tugenda kufuna essente okuva mu maliba mu mayembe gennyini ag'ente nga tukolamu ebyokwewunda nga tubikolera wano e Uganda. Singa tunaaba n'amasannyalaze nga gabeerako ssaawa yonna ate nga n'ebbeeyi yaago tufuba okulaba nga tugissa wansi. Pulezidenti amalirizza ng'atwagalizza omwaka omulungi. Era n'agamba nti tufune obudde, waliwo bye tutaalaze ku TV byabadde ayogerako ebikoleddwa, tufube okulaba nga tubiraga abantu balabeko, kubanga abamu bwe baba tebalabyeko tebakkiriza. Ate bannayuganda tebaagala kulambula bibeetoolodde, tebekkiririzaamu. Pulezidenti ayogedde nti Abafirika tetwekkiririzaamu. Ekyo kizibu kyaffe. Gwe nokkiririza mu kyamuliraanwa eri ng'olinya ennyonyi n'ogenda nokkiririza mu kyoyo, naye ng'ekikuli wano okumpi tokikkiririzaamu. Twekkiririzeemu, tufune confidence, tukozese ebyo Katonda bye yatuwa, ebyobugagga eby'omu ttaka ne bino bye tulina, tufube okulaba nga tweyimirizaawo, kubanga abataagala Africa bo tebajja kutuyamba, naffe tulina okweyamba ffekka. Njagala kumaliza naye nga neebaza omukisa guno Pulezidenti gompadde, nange okwagaliza bannayuganda omwaka 2023 ogw'okwekuuma obulwadde HIV AIDS COVID-19 n'obulwadde obulala bwonna. Tubwekuume tube balamu tusobole okubeera abagagga. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala.
Kale Katonda, God bless you.
Tuzzeeyo mu mpeereza yaffe eya bulijjo.
Trinity Love School somero ly'abawala n'abalenzi okuva ku nursery paka ku P7 era nga liyina ebisulo awamu n'abo abava ewaka. Ebisulo by'abaana biyonjo bigazi bulungi okugattako endya ennungi, eddwaliro eririmu abasawo abatendeke wamma ddala ebyobulamu bw'omwana wo ne biba nga bigonjoddwa. Tulina emmotoka ezisaabaza abaana abava ewaka, tulina abasomesa abatendeke mu bungi ddala, tulina ebyemizannyo, ebyakatemba, okuwuga n'ebirala bingi. Leeta omwana wo ku Trinity Love School tusange Nyanama awamu ne Bunnamwaya Ngobe. Trinity Love School, together we shine.
Metro Junior School. Esomero lino lya mulembe nnyo, eby'enkanika, basomesa bulungi nnyo beesigwa, gye tuba tugenda, kumanya abasomesa bonna abakugu ddala.
Mu mwaka omupya Bukidde TV1 ekoze enkyuka